Hello, I'm Stan Simpkins and my partner Lonnie Shambi. We're here at the Small Business Virtual Roundtables, Small Business Wake Up Call. And actually, today's going to be interesting. Hey, Lonnie, we oftentimes get asked, so like, really, what takes place? We've been doing these snippets, almost kind of a webinar, lecture kind of series, 3 minutes. And I thought, we both were talking about maybe we should just share the actual kind of situations, in confidence, of course, that we come across at the meetings. That makes
Yeah,
sense?
we should set a stage so people get a
Yeah.
sense of
Yeah.
what happens there, what's the interaction, what are the subject matters that come up, and and help people understand this is a good thing for them.
Yeah, and it made me think, and after 25 years of doing this in person, then with the virtual for the last year with our new group, something happened at the last minute that really surprised me. I hadn't seen, I can't remember when I saw the last, and that was what you and I would call the underachiever recognition.
Yes,
And I don't
yes.
know how many of our viewers will relate to this, but it might be something to think about. So why don't you set it up, Lonnie, what was actually taking place?
Well, it's somebody who's basically said, I'm doing fine. I don't need a lot of this. Okay, this is some of these other guys are doing things. I'm hitting my numbers and the like, and that's all I care about.
Or the one we get when we meet with prospects, say, "Oh, my brother-in-law does that."
Exactly. Oh
we
yes,
don't need
yes.
we don't need consultants. I got an uncle that does that or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah,
But see, it's not the same because when they say stuff like "I'm hitting my
yeah,
numbers," so we
yeah,
we end up we don't let them just go
yeah,
with that because we'll ask them, well, what's that mean? How did you
yeah.
come up with those numbers to start with?
And Lonnie, what's interesting here is, and this is something we want to share with our viewers. Oftentimes, people won't join because they don't think they have anything they want to talk about or no issues or concerns. And what happens so often, as we know, is someone will bring up an issue, and all of a sudden, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, and yet it was nothing they were thinking about before they came to the meeting, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And what happened here was someone started talking about, well, maybe I need to do a business plan because things are getting more complicated, and I got more people, and I have to communicate more. I can let my people know more. Maybe if I should do that, and they want to know what other people thought, and have other people done the business plan, and what's the benefit of it. And what happened is what he got sucked into it.
Yes. I mean, the thing is this: what happens is they all start to ask questions. Well, wait a second. How are you doing this now? Are you doing any planning at all?
Yep.
And they'll say, well, we've been thinking about it, and we basically we meet the end of the year, we put a budget together and maybe a couple of sentences about how we're going to do it, and that's our plan.
And what was the conclusion of the meeting? They basically said to this gentleman in nice words, "You're an underachiever. If
Yeah.
we owned your company with what you just told us is going on, we'd be a lot bigger. Why are you not?"
And see, they'll justify it by saying, "Oh, we're doing just fine.
Right.
We know what our limits are." And how's that? How do you know what your limits are? Because the one great thing about this is you've got peers who are going to call you out on stuff. Okay. Not only are they going to call you out on it, but they're going to hold you accountable if you decide to make a move.
And you know what the best part, Lonnie, is? Once he kind of had the aha moment, because he was being honest. It wasn't ego or anything. He truly was content and everything was fine. In his mind, the
Absolutely.
world was a beautiful place. But once he kind of like took the hit, if you will, the challenge to his, ego, if you will, and he started throwing his objections to the group. Well, if I was blah blah blah, I could. So he brought up all the issues, marketing and people and finance. Before you knew it, we basically helped put his macro business plan together. And at
Exactly.
least open to that.
I mean,
And
it's
yeah,
stuff he hadn't thought of. And that's
right,
what a peer to peer advisory group is
right.
about, Stan.
And by the way, in the whole year he's been with us, he's never taken advantage of the once a quarter free 1 hour with us. And what are we doing next month? We're sitting down with him. We're not going to do his business plan for him, but you and I, Lonnie, will get him moving forward. We'll come back to the group and ask for their guidance. But the point is, he's now taking a direction he probably wouldn't have even thought to do.
We know what he's going to say. He's going to say, I'm looking at this in an entirely different perspective than I ever thought I should.
Well, I'm Stan Simpkins, my partner Lonnie Shaba. If you'd like to learn more about what some of the takeaways that we get at our roundtable groups, reach out to us at www.sbvirtualroundtables.com. Talk to you soon.